What's going on, y'all? This is Masterpiece, and I'm back at it again with just a quick demonstration of the reason why I'm saying you don't have a soul. Your soul has a body. You know, when you say that you have something, it implies that that something can be lost or that you attained something, that you didn't have it once and now you do have it. This way of thinking makes you seem like you can easily be detached from yourself, like the soul is something different than you. When in reality, the soul is it far extends you. It's experience, it's knowledge, it's foresight, it's force. So I'm just going to explain to you why I say that you don't have a soul, like you don't have something inside of you, an energy. Most people, when they think of a soul, they think of a ghost of themselves or like a little energy thing inside of you somewhere. And that when you die, that something goes somewhere. But that's not really the case in my humble opinion, if you'll just bear with me and I can demonstrate. Um, okay. I'm using this as a demonstration right now. I used this before in the curly hair, the kinky hair video. You should watch that. Okay, so this is high frequency, high energy waves, and as the wavelengths expand, it weakens. Um, and in color theory, this would be like violet and indigo and blue and green and yellow and orange and all the way to red and infrared, and it gets weaker and weaker. You have the whole light spectrum, right? From the gamma rays, because here it goes from gamma to X rays to ultraviolet rays, UV, to the light spectrum, which is very, very small, to infrared, and then to radio waves. So a larger portion of wave energy exists outside of what you can see. And this is where most phenomena take place. So, if you think about a rainbow, the rainbow is much bigger than the actual rainbow. That's like saying that you have a soul is like saying the rainbow has gamma, X-rays, UV, infrared, and radio waves in it. No, it doesn't. You are a rainbow, and you have all these, the extent of the spectrums around you, enveloping you. So you are actually bigger. This is your aura, your electromagnetic output, and people call it an aura. I call it the output because it's what is being projected outwards from you, from within out. But the saying that you have a, a soul, entailing that it is smaller than you, it can think that it can lessen the importance of it, of the soul. Instead of imagining that it is something bigger than you, it is something greater, something more wise than you, and that the instincts that it gives you should be heeded and listened to. You know what I mean? And so this is a book called Seven Steps to Healing and Wellness, and I've outlined a couple points that jumped out to me while I was reading, and I think it's pertinent to what we're talking about. It goes on to say, when you meet someone for the first time and immediately feel as though you've known each other already, and I'll go on to say when you catch bad vibes or happy vibes from someone, it's partially because at that moment you both are sending vibrations that are reflecting, echoing, reverberating, and returning to each of you respectively, and at the same amplitude. You are both resonating. Dr. Young noted that the average body frequency ranged from 62 to 68 hertz. Brain frequencies 10 hertz higher than the body during the day, and brain frequencies are 10 hertz lower at night. When you are well, you are vibrating on a frequency of 66 to 70 hertz. When you are vibrating at 58 hertz, you are not well. So the language that this is in hertz, in frequencies. So that just is going to illustrate, just to start, the fact that we are electromagnetic beings, we are communicators, we are transmitter receivers, and that we operate on many different wavelengths. It's not just your body. So if this is, just give me a minute, I'm sorry. So if this is you, a human being, this is the rainbow. This is the visible part of the spectrum that you can see. But as you know, or as you may now know, that you are operating on higher frequencies, you can see that you have beyond your rainbow, the chakras up here. The chakras, of course, are all colored. You have ultraviolet frequencies. You have infrared frequencies vibrating from you. You have radio waves frequencies vibrating all around you. You have X-rays vibrating all around you, being emitted from you, from the unseen, from the substantial, from the unchanging. The constant that is pushing life, that flow of energy. And of course you have I'll just use this color. And of course you have the gamma rays. Now the gamma rays vibrate the highest. They have the most frequency, the highest frequency. So you could be getting your inspiration from the gamma rays. When you send out transmissions of intent, it's being transmitted through these mediums, and it's coming back to you after it's being qualified by your intent. It's coming back to you, and it's changing your reality. It's creating your reality. So your soul is not something that is confined within you. You are confined within your soul. Okay? And then it goes on to say that the fluids have been seen to convey, the fluids of your biochemistry, the fluidic elements have been seen to convey bioelectric or biomagnetic information throughout the body at lightning speeds. Now this is particularly talking about the craniosacral fluids that's running up and down your spine and into your brain, where it's the strongest. Everything that we see, touch, feel, and recognize has its genesis in the metaphysical realm. Metaphysical, outside of the physical, outside of your physical being. Your body is a product of metaphysical processes composed of interlacing light frequencies, crystallizing by degrees into the elemental properties of organic matters. Basically, it's creating your physical being. You are a being of crystal light. Your blood is liquid crystal. It is a flowing river of light, directly connected to the light of cosmic intelligence. Now, that's really important because when we're looking at fluid exchange and the way that fluid works, we know that it has three stages: solid, liquid, and gaseous, right? So we know that the blood isn't coming from some solid piece of never ending blood supply. It's not like there's like a hard blood rock in you that is slowly turning into liquid all your life. No. You'll notice that the blood is precipitating, is condensing down and precipitating into you. The elementals are not within you and they give off uh, your body. They do not give off what appears to be your body. The elements reduce down. They the blood, the liquid. When you eat, the only thing that is absorbed into the blood is gaseous things and liquids, because liquids are uh, easily made into gas. So it doesn't take much time before the heat of your body and the enzymes start converting it into gas. So it needs gas to feed, and what creates you sustains you. So if your blood takes gas, then it's coming from a gaseous state and condensing down, and that's very important as we move on to explaining and to seeing how you you do not contain a soul. Your soul, your whole being contains you, which is just a tiny little part. Maybe you're ugly, maybe you're light skinned, maybe you're dark skinned, maybe you have straight hair. This is just a small little part of you. Okay, now enter the photonic particles from within the waves of light, propelled by intent, like we spoke about before, reconciling all the varying frequencies of your mind, cells, and spirit until they all balance in agreement with the request issue. Basically, law of attraction, right? Creating your reality. The result is the physical manifestation of a metaphysical process of the mind. Psychogenesis. That's my words. An expression of ma'at, equilibrium or disease, between the visible and invisible worlds of being. Again, the result is the physical manifestation of a metaphysical process of the mind, an expression of ma'at, equilibrium or disease, between the visible and the invisible worlds of being. Again, the metaphysical or spiritual is the template for every plane of physical existence. So it's always in the unseen before it becomes the seen. The sunlight, uh, the evaporation, the humidity, all the things that go into making a seed sprout and grow, all happens underneath the surface. And then when you see the sprout, you think that it's just a little sprout, but so many things went into that, and so many things before it, from the seed being pulled away from the fruit dropping, from the fruit growing and ripening, from the fruit coming from a flower, from the flower coming from the you know what I mean, the branches and the twigs, and then that coming from a tree, and then a seed. There's so many things that happen, that go on in the creation of something before it's seen. And that is just what I wanted to share and illustrate with you, and I hope that helps you, because why I think that's important is that we don't have to separate each other. We don't have to look at each other as lesser or more. We can all understand that we are light emitting beings, and we are all here to experience, and we're all here to work out our kinks, and we all do have kinks. And it's not upon us to put someone down, especially in our own community, when every other community is doing it to us first. We do not have to participate in our own destruction. So knowing that you are bigger that you exist on many more different levels of reality, and that your body, you know, you don't have a soul. To stop saying that, you know, stop saying, oh, my soul is this. No, you know, you are this big, you know, you are infinite. You are lightning speed. You are all possibility, you know. Don't work on changing this. Work on changing the conditions, the environment around this thought process. And remember, the highest vibrations are in the mental, in the craniosacral fluid. It's the highest vibrating, and highest transmitting in terms of speed. So we know that, again, the universe is mental. So this is important for our community, because we don't have to, just because we're kicked when we're down, we don't have to believe that we're down. We don't have to believe what we think, like Erica Badu says. We have an option to really go within, which may seem paradoxical, but it's not. When you close off your eyes and go in, it's really um it's really going out. It's really expanding, because you, you perceive out here as uh it's all in your brain. You're only perceiving out here. But once you cut off that perception of the sight, if you want to plug your ears with some earplugs for some extra efficiency, if you want to do that with your nose as well, shut down the the senses. That's why they say when you meditate, don't do it with tight clothes, do it with loose clothes, so that you're not feeling too much. When you shut that down and go in, you're suddenly opening yourself up to the realm of infinity and all possibility. You see, you think that you're gonna go out, and you think, I know that I'm describing it as outwards here, uh, and it holds true when we're talking about what we observe. But when we shut the senses off, those faculties, and we go inward, we suddenly uh, open up to a huge uh, realm where we exist on a much grander scale. It's like going in. There's a movie about this. This is important right now. There's a movie about not about this, but uh, it's like that Rambo. It's like that Rambo movie. What is? I'm gonna look it up right now. Rambo um, parody. Rambo parody with Martin Sheen or whatever. Hot Shots. Is it Hot Shots? Yeah, I think it's Hot Shots with Martin Sheen. Okay? Yeah. Now, there's a part, I don't know which part one it is, which part it is, but there's a part where he goes into a trailer. Now, he knocks on this door, and the trailer's small, and it's out in the boonies, it's out in the sticks, out in the wilderness, or whatever. It's like a, you know, it's like a trailer scene. And the guy invites him into his home. He opens up the trailer door, and he goes in, and then the camera switches to interior of the trailer. And suddenly, he's in a huge mansion with nice hardwood floors and rugs and horns and libraries of books, wine, and go check that scene out. And he even notices. He comes in and he's like, "What? Like this was a trailer outside, you know?" So it looks like the trailer outside. It's small, but like I said, he when he went in, it opened up to a space that was way bigger than the trailer could have confined. You cannot confine this into your body. You'd explode, right? So when you go in, that is suddenly when you open up. And so that's the presentation for today, and I hope that helps in some way, shape, or form. All right, yo, this is Masterpiece. Thank you for watching. Peace.